नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयत्मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादिदेशतारिणे। नित्यानन्दमहं नौमि सर्वानन्दकरं परं हरिनामामृतं देवम् अवधूता शिरोमणिम् आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाम्बदिव्यछविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसाप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण।
So the kids who want to play, please go and play. But if you stay here, please don't shout. Okay?
You want to stay here or play outside? Actually, it's program for kids as well. So Prabhuji will tell something about kids and then parents as well. So you can sit for some
It's for
time.
the parents to take care of the kids.
Yeah, both. So, what do you want, Prabhu? I mean, is there anything for
I
kids?
only don't want that.
Yeah.
I also have 3 kids, so I understand.
Yeah.
So only they should not remind me of home.
Yeah. So it's okay. I mean, you can play outside. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that parents can concentrate.
let them play.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they are playing, you can hear peacefully.
If you are playing, let them play.
You don't have microphone arrangement, right?
No, we don't have. We will buy. I'll be trying.
Hare Krishna. So I wish to offer my respectful obeisances to all the Vaishnavas here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak Harikatha. So today we are going to discuss a very important subject matter. Ideal householder life. It's very difficult to lead a householder life. And then we're talking about ideal householder life. Standard. So what our Shastras say about leading an ideal householder life. Some of you might be single, some of you might be, most of you might be already married. So there was a there was a time when Rajasuya Yajna was performed by Yudhishthira Maharaj. Now Rajasuya Yajna can be performed only by that king who has control over devatas as well. And Yudhishthira Maharaj, with the help of Lord Krishna, was able to perform three such yajnas. Three Ashwamedha yajnas and Rajasuya yajna as well. So, in that Rajasuya yajna, basically, it was an arrangement wherein the whole world knows who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Yudhishthira Maharaj established Krishna as the Supreme Lord in that very assembly. Personalities from all over the globe actually came in that Rajasuya Sabha. It was a very big assembly. Very big assembly. In that Rajasuya sacrifice, a very unusual thing happened. Shishupal was killed. Krishna killed him. And then Shishupal's Jiva, soul, entered Krishna. And that bewildered everybody. How can Shishupal get delivered? Because there are some people whom we know from childhood. So Shishupal was known to most of them. And since the time he started speaking, he was only abusing Krishna. He was only saying bad mouthing Krishna. That was his life. कुछ लोगों का काम भगवान का नाम जप लेना होता है. कुछ लोगों का काम रहता है विरोधी करना रहता है. There are some people who always criticize people who are following on the path of the Supreme Lord. उनका कुछ काम नहीं रहता है, बस निंदा करो. They always criticize. So Shishupal was the chairman of that assembly. Such people, and he got killed. But surprisingly, when his soul entered Krishna, that bewildered Yudhishthira Maharaj. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj very well knew that Shishupal has offended Krishna day in and day out. So how can he get delivered? So he had a doubt. When you have a doubt, what to do?
Approach seniors.
Yes. Should we look in the book? Book is not going to solve your doubt. You have to approach a sadhu. So Yudhishthira Maharaj had a doubt. How did this happen? So he was looking for someone and he saw Naradji. And he went and sought shelter of Naradji. So Naradji was sitting. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was sitting down. Naradji was sitting and he was asking questions. That is the 7th canto of Bhagavad. And he put forward question about Shishupal, and then Narad Muni answered that they are actually Jaya and Vijay, who fell from who actually were cursed by 4 Kumaras, and they took birth as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana and Kumbhakaran, and then they came as Shishupal and Dantavakra. And that's how he explained everything. So that matter got clear. But then further, Yudhishthira Maharaj inquired that what are the 4 social classes? Varnashram ke bare mein pucha. What are the 4 social classes? 4 spiritual classes? Grahasthashram, Vanaprasthashram, Sannyasashram, then Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. What are the duties? Unka duties kya hai? So many questions were asked and they were resolved. But one thing was pending. Narad Muni told about Brahmachari ashram, Narad Muni told about Vanaprastha ashram, Narad Muni told about Sannyas ashram. But he was not telling about Grahastha ashram. Because all the 3 ashramas are in this, all the 3 ashramas, one is completely absorbed in performing devotional service. But Grahastha ashram, is also an ashram where also devotional service has to be performed, but it is challenging. थोड़ा चैलेंज रहता है, बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज रहता है. हाँ? घर गृहस्थी को संभाल कर भक्ति करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट चैलेंज है भाई. So Yudhishthira Maharaj asked question to Narad Muni. Grahastha etam padvim vidhina ena chanjasa ya devarshe bruhi madrusho graha mudati. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj is Yudhishthira Maharaj Dharmaraj. Yudhishthira Maharaj Dharmaraj hai. Lekin, but here he is saying that I am madrusho graha mudati. I am completely ignorant about the goal of my life. You need to understand that we are in a state. We are grahastha ashram mein hai. In grahastha ashram our senses are mostly absorbed in sense enjoyment. We cannot compare ourselves with those who are completely absorbed in devotional service, like the vanaprasthas, like the sannyasis, like the brahmacharis. They are by their kaya, vacha, karmana, they are engaged in devotional service. But if we by performing little devotional service here and there, we think ourselves are very something great and superior, then it is not good. Here Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, I am graha mudadhi. I am very ignorant about the goal of my life. So this submissiveness is very important. This submissiveness is very important for Atata Brahma Jigyasa, for knowing about absolute truth. If there is no genuineness, if there is no submissiveness, if there is no honesty, if there is a kapat in the heart, कपट के साथ फिर सबसे बड़े कपटी भगवान है. So when we approach a sadhu can see us. They know very well हमारी क्या स्थिति है, दिखती है. चुप. We cannot hide ourselves. We can try to cover up, but what we are, it comes out. So we can't pretend to be a very advanced devotee or अरे I'm well, मेरे को जरूरत नहीं है. I don't want support. ऐसा Yudhishthira Maharaj needs support. Yudhishthira Maharaj, he's saying Graha Mudadhi. I'm completely ignorant. I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. But that's a sin. Because in such a state of mind, if you take shelter of sadhu, then the real blessing will come. Because sadhus have two kind of kripa. Sakapat kripa, nishkapat kripa. When they see genuineness is there. Devotees, this is very important. Respected Matajis and Prabhuji, this is very important thing. Sadhus have two kind of kripa. One is sakapat, with kapat. Sadhus also do sakapat kripa, and there is nishkapat. How to understand this? If you have a desire for sense enjoyment, if you have a desire for post position, if you have a desire for showing off, then if you go to a sadhu, then you know that is not genuine. You already know everything. What you want to learn? You don't want to learn anything. You're telling that I know everything, and I want to practice devotional life by my own way. This doesn't work, sir. Devotional life has to practice under the guidance of a sadhu. Devotional life means when it is practiced, Krishna consciousness is practiced under guidance of a devotees, because they understand Shastra, so they will explain you the purpose of the Shastra, and they will help you understand how, as per time, place, and circumstances, one can practice Krishna consciousness. It's very important. That's why Yudhishthira Maharaj went to Bhishma Pitama to understand. So here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that, kindly explain me What to explain? That we are staying at home. How can we attain that goal of life? Which goal of life? Which the sannyasis are attaining. Sannyasis, every ashram has a dharma. Brahmachari ashram means Shastra Adhyayan. Vanaprastha ashram means Tapasya. Sannyas ashram means they should 24 hours, their mind should be fixed in Krishna. Even for a moment they cannot forget Krishna. That should be their absorption. So here Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, how can I attain that destination which the sannyasis are attaining? So help me out. So Maharaj is saying, very important. Graheshvavastito rajan kriya kurvanyathochitaha vasudevarpanam sakshat upasita mahamuni. Vasudevarpanam sakshat upasita mahamuni. So those who are staying at home, we householders, we are staying at home. We should act to earn. They should act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer it to Krishna. Everything, all the whatever we get, we are not asking you to give everything to temple. No. Whatever you are getting, उसमें से भगवान जो घर पे जो बनता है उसमें से भगवान के लिए भोग लगाओ. सब कुछ भगवान के लिए करो. घर पे भगवान का विग्रह रखो. Keep deities of the Lord in the house. Keep the picture of the Lord in the house. Do every activities for the pleasure of the Lord. Vasudevarpanam sakshat. And most important thing is upasita mahamuni. Upasit means what? Upasit means going and sitting near to whom? Mahamuni. Who is Mahamuni? There is something called as Muni. There are Munis and there are Mahamunis. Who are Munis? Munis are those who remain Mauna.
It's really good.
Mauna means they take a vow of not speaking to anybody. They take a vow of silence. That's their. If you go to during Kumbh, if you go to Kumbh Mela, you will see a lot of sadhus, Mahatyagi, Mahavairagi, and so many upadhis they have. And many of them, if you see, they don't talk because they don't know what to talk. Mahamunis are different. Mahamunis are those who don't talk anything about the material world. They only talk about Krishna. They're only interested in Krishna. If you go to them, if you come in contact with them, they will only talk about Krishna. So Munis and Mahamunis, there is a gulf of difference. Munis, they don't talk about anything, neither of Krishna, neither of the material world. And many of them, they don't know what to talk. They just say moan. Because they're in fear that if someone asks them questions, they're not in a position to answer them. So best is to remain silent. Easy, na? But devotees are not like that. The devotees have clarity of thought. The devotees have understanding of the scriptures. So any questions coming to them, the sadhus, they can answer, they can reply. So Narad Muni is advising that you should associate with whom? With Mahamunis. Now, this is the science of satisfying Krishna is to be understood by Sakshat Upasita Mahamuni. So we cannot by our own whimsical way practice devotional service. If we by our own whimsical way create our own devotional paths and start practicing it, then we might end up nowhere. Devotional service means you need a guidance of a devotee, you need a guidance of sadhus, a spiritual master. That's why there is the first thing is there what? Rupa Goswami Pad, what is he saying? First thing in spiritual life is to accept a spiritual master. But accepting a spiritual master is just not a fashion. Second thing comes is surrendering to him and following his instructions. Upasita Mahamuni means going, sitting near to him and asking questions. Questions about what? Asking questions about what? Obama ye bola, isne ye kiya. Huh? Asking questions about how can I get out of my conditioning. First of all, we need to understand that जाल में होना और जाल का अनुभव करना ये अलग अलग बातें हैं. Understanding that we are bound up in this situation. Let's say someone is in jail, but in jail also he is comfortable. Someone is in jail and for years he is going to be in jail, but in jail also he is comfortable. That means he doesn't have any interest of coming out. So उनको क्या बोलेंगे? Well, he is in relaxed life. But those who understand they're in jail and they will put an effort to come out. So what they will do? They'll behave nicely. They'll behave nicely. They will try if they by some means they can reduce their imprisonment, number of years of imprisonment. They'll behave nicely. They will behave good. So that's what we have to do. When we understand that we are in a conditioned state of life, we are in what we can say is we are in a difficult situation. We are in jail. Then we'll take shelter of sadhus. But what happens is we dictate to sadhus what we want to do. That is not sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha means taking shelter of guru means what? Means guru should dictate our life. What we have to do. They should say we have to follow that. They're saying chant 16 rounds. So we should chant 16 rounds. Follow 4 regulative principles. And also other things of our spiritual aspects. We have to follow under their guidance. That's why we have Guru Janas are there. But what happens? These days the life is this Kali Yuga is a very difficult place. In Kali Yuga, the disciples dictate to Guru what they have to do. They will say that I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. We inform spiritual master what we have to do. So what will spiritual master say? Do. It's very difficult these days. So here, that's why Yudhishthira Maharaj is calling himself a Graha Mudadhi, ignorant. He is calling himself as an ignorant fool. And with that mood he is surrendering to Narad Muni. And that's what Narad Muni is replying. So what is Narad Muni saying? Shrunvan bhagavato abhikshanam avatar kathamritam shraddhadhano yatha kalam upashantu janavrita. So what is Narad Muni saying? Narad Muni is saying a grahastha must again and again associate with saintly people. Some might ask when to associate. महीने में एक बार, वीक में एक बार, साल में एक बार, once a lifetime. Sometimes the devotees just say sadhu sangha love matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoye. So I have associated once, that's enough. I don't need more association. Is it? What is Narad Muni saying? A grahastha must again and again associate. Whenever he has a chance, he should go and associate with sadhus, pure devotees of the Lord. And what should one do? With great respect. With great respect, he must hear the nectarian activities of Krishna from him. It's very important. And then he should graduate by hearing about Krishna. Krishna's name, Krishna's fame, Krishna's pastimes. They are so powerful. They are so powerful. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to West, when he came to the West, what did he do? He had some musical instruments with him. He did some yoga preaching. He did some Ayurveda preaching. No. He simply went to Tom's Quinn Square Park and started performing kirtan. And then he gathered a little congregation, and the small congregation started gathering. He started feeding them prasad. And then he started speaking to them about Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. In the first year itself, he spoke. He started to glorify, broadcast the glories of Krishna. So when we are hearing about Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, what happens? When we are studying them, we have to study. Studying is also a kind of hearing. Most important thing, Shravanam, Adhyan. Adhyan is also Shravanam. It's very important. We have gone through all our exams in our life. ना बहुत सारे इंजीनियरिंग किया है, बहुत सारे ग्रेजुएशन किया है, lot of exams we have gone through, right? So what have we done? We have only heard in the classes and straight away went for exams? No, we studied, right? We studied. But Hare Krishna devotees, they have no time for studying. They are so busy that there is no time for studying Bhagavatam. So this is the most important aspect. So hearing about Krishna's name, fame, form, pastimes, they are so powerful. They are so powerful that when Srila Prabhupada started speaking about it, the conditioned souls who were there and there, they heard Krishna's name, fame, and they fell in love with Krishna. So Krishna's, भगवान की कीर्ति और भगवान की यश में बहुत शक्ति है. Shukdev Goswami, he was a transcendentalist. He was absorbed in Brahmananda. He came out of the womb of his mother and started straight walking to the forest. And Veda Vyasi was running behind him. Arey beta Shukdev, ruk jao, ruk jao, ruk jao. And he did not hear. He just went. So Veda Vyas, what he used to do? Veda Vyas was giving Bhagavatam classes. And he was teaching Bhagavatam verses to his disciples. And those disciples used to go and sing in the forest. And Shukdev Goswami heard that and he came back. And he heard the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. Imagine a personality who is absorbed in Brahman. He comes back and hears Bhagavatam. So much attractive is Bhagavatam that person is absorbed in Brahman. He comes back. So what to say the conditioned souls who don't get any pleasure in this world? We are trying to get pleasures for our senses. We are doing everything for getting pleasure. But how many of you have felt happiness, satisfaction in a relationship or in an endeavor which you are putting since last so many years? How many of us? अगर वास्तव में सुख कहीं है संसार में तो केवल भगवान के चरणों में है, भगवान की भक्ति करने में है, और संसार में कोई सुख नहीं है. ये हमें जानना पड़ेगा. Now coming to the this is the गृहस्थ लाइफ का बेसिक चीज है. Associating with devotees, hearing Hari Katha, reading Bhagavatam. Now those who have kids or those who are planning to have kids, for them it is very essential that the parents set up an ideal standard of being a father and mother. An ideal father and mother. If you're an ideal father and mother, then your children, they will see you. You are their superheroes. That's the first impression. That's the first impression. They are absorbing, they are very closely observing their mother, their father, very closely observing. You might be knowing that, there are sometimes the discussion happens and then you say, oh, he's listening, stop it. Or you're fighting, you're arguing, and then your child is listening, stop it, I'll discuss later. And then They're hearing everything, they're observing everything. They're observing you so closely. And whatever you are, your child is going to become like that. Yes. In front of devotees, you're a different person. In home, you're a different person. So your children are going to be a different person. In home, they'll be a different person. Outside, they'll be a different person. So the best way to raise children in Krishna consciousness is, first the parents has to be Krishna conscious. And they should give up the life of hypocrisy. They should give up pakhanda. They should genuinely practice bhakti. They should genuinely follow path of Krishna consciousness. Genuinely do everything genuinely. No secrets. Because they know everything. Kids, they observe and they grow. And they see you and they see you and they will become like that. So based on your character, their character is going to develop. So always be very careful. And those who don't have kids, those who are planning to have kids, set yourself to a high standard of spiritual life. If you want, they should be God conscious. First, the parents should be God conscious. ये तो बाहर बोलने का वेजिटेरियन है और अंदर घर पे अंडा लाके खाने का, ऐसा नहीं होता. वे वेजिटेरियंस फॉर द आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड, विद इन सब चलता है, ऐसा नहीं होता. You don't smoke, but the father goes outside and smokes and come, and they think, oh, बच्चा को क्या मालूम पड़ेगा, बच्चा बाप है भैया, सब पता चलता है उसको. Don't get surprised if they see you see them smoking very at an early age. These are very important things. And having deities at home, having kirtans, the parents chanting, and the most important thing is the husband and wife. They should have a good relationship. The parents, they should have good, healthy relationships. If husband and wife, they have a healthy relationship, then the kids will have healthy upbringing. If all the time argument, nagging is going on in the house, then you will expect the same thing in the kids. If your household life is not successful, if you are not putting your time in it, the problem of household life is very simple. The both of them, they do not investing sufficient amount of time in that relationship. We have become so busy that we are failing to invest our time in the relationship. We want to serve the world, but we are ignoring our own immediate family. That is the problem. Why the householder life is suffering? घर पे झगड़े क्यों होते हैं? डिस्टर्बेंसेस क्यों है? इतना अच्छा स्कॉटलैंड का ब्यूटीफुल वेदर है, सब स्वर्ग लोग है, लेकिन स्वर्ग लोग में देवता लोग झगड़ते रहते हैं. हाँ, पति पत्नी छोटी छोटी चीजों में झगड़ते रहते हैं. क्यों? टाइम इन्वेस्ट नहीं करते हम लोग अपने एक दूसरे के ऊपर. सब लोग इतने बिजी हैं इसमें, हाँ, अलग अलग चीजों में, कि आपस में एक दूसरे के लिए टाइम नहीं है. पत्नी, the wife has created her own world, husband has created his own world, and the children have created their own world. And then we expect what? हमारे घर पे समस्या है, प्रॉब्लम्स है, ये है, वो है. प्रॉब्लम्स तो आएंगी भाई. That's why when you practice in Krishna consciousness, वो रिलेशनशिप में क्या होता है? सब स्वार्थी, सब लोग स्वार्थ में है. Everybody is selfish. Husband is selfish, wife is selfish. Wife wants something from the husband from the relationship. Husband wants something from the wife from the relationship. जब स्वार्थ जब तक पूरा हो रहा है सब ठीक है. 6-7 महीने साल भर तक चलता रहता है सब. उसके बाद स्वार्थ खत्म, झगड़े चालू. और फिर कॉम्प्रोमाइज मैरिज चलती है गाड़ी आगे. पत्नी को पति में इंटरेस्ट नहीं, पति को पत्नी को पति में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, और एक दूसरे के साथ शेयर करते रहते हैं, मेरा ये समस्या है, मेरा ये समस्या है, और सॉरी फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर करते रहते हैं, और फिर उनसे इनपुट लेते हैं कि अपना गृहस्थ आश्रम कैसे चले, बताओ। अरे बाबा, तुम एक साथ एक घर में रह रहे हो, यू बोथ आर स्टेइंग इन अ फैमिली टुगेदर, राइट? हस्बैंड नोज द वाइफ वेल, वाइफ नोज द हस्बैंड वेल. How can your friends tell you how you should deal with your husband? And how can husband's friend tell you, the husband, how you should deal with your wife? It's not possible. The problems between husband and wife can be solved by them only. But we want the whole world to interfere and whole world to know. Papa, do not do this mistake. We see in Ramayana what happened. Kaikai told the most confidential thing to Manthara. What did she tell? Kaikai supported Dashrath Maharaj in a battle against the demons, and Dashrath Maharaj became victorious because of her. Dashrath Maharaj was injured, and Kaikai very swiftly helped him and helped him in such a way where he became victorious. And what happened? Dashrath Maharaj offered her a boon, and Kaikai said, I don't want anything. She was a chaste lady. She didn't want anything. The satisfaction of the husband itself was everything for her. But then she did a blunder in her life. Kaikai went and told this most secretive things, that I have 2 blessings from my husband which I did not take. And she told it that to who? Manthara. The Manthara will understand the husband and wife relationship. So do not bring Manthara in your life. If you bring Manthara in your life, then get ready for separation. What happened? Manthara started giving counseling to whom? Kaikai. Who was Kaikai? And who was Manthara? You need to know from whom you should take guidance from. Who is your authority? I'll tell you one thing, very, very unusual story. There was a Dhobi. He had a donkey called as Sundar Gandharva. He had a donkey called as Sundar Gandharva. Once that donkey died, and that Dhobi was the Dhobi of the king. So Dhobi, he shaved his head because donkey died. He was a part of his family. He thought, let me shave my head. And the Dhobi went to the king's palace as usual for collecting his clothes and everything. And the minister saw the Dhobi. Minister, what happened? He said, Sundar Gandharva died. He said, what? Sundar Gandharva died? Oh my God! I should also shave my head. So minister said, okay, let me shave my head. When did he die? Yesterday. You performed all the funeral rites? Yes, I did. That's why I shaved my head. Oh my God, Sundar Gandharva, he shaved his head. All the other ministers, they came to know the prime minister shaved his head. Everybody shaved the head. Then the next day in the palace, the sabha बैठ गई, all the kings came, everybody was shaved. And the king asked, what happened? सबने एक आवाज में बोला, Sundar Gandharva died. So king said, oh, Sundar Gandharva died, let me shave my head also. But king's wife was smart. She asked, who is Sundar Gandharva? Nobody asked till now. The king's wife asked, who is Sundar Gandharva? First find out. And the message came to the king, who is Sundar Gandharva? And the king said, yes, who is Sundar Gandharva? So he asked the prime minister, who is Sundar Gandharva? He doesn't know. He asked all the ministers, who is Sundar? He doesn't know. And they said, oh, that Dhobi. They call that Dhobi. But who is Sundar Gandharva? My donkey. Now this is what happens when you make someone as your authority. And you take decisions of your life based on them. So this is what is going to happen. So, husband and wife, they're best of the friends. Okay? So they have to not discuss their problems outside. If the problems has to be solved, only they can solve their own problems. Nobody else. This is a secret of successful grahastha life. If you can follow this, your life can go to 100 years also. There will be no problem. बाहर जाएगा नहीं problem. Problem will remain in the house within both of you. And if it is remain between both of you, how it is going to have problem? The problem will go away. This is the most important thing. And keeping Krishna in the center, practicing Krishna consciousness will help us come out. Will help us come out from the selfish nature of ours. It's very important. We have selfish motives, selfish nature even in the relationship. The wife wants something from the husband and that's why she is in the relationship. उसका भी स्वार्थ है. Husband also wants something from the wife, that's why he is in the relationship. Nobody is selfless. There is something, सारा स्वार्थ. पूछो अपने आप को मैं क्यों इसके साथ रिलेशनशिप में हूँ? क्या चाहिए मेरा कुछ चाहिए, मेरा स्वार्थ है कुछ. कुछ भी स्वार्थ होगा. बच्चों का स्वार्थ होगा, अपना स्वार्थ होगा, पैसे का स्वार्थ होगा, ये स्वार्थ, all the swarthas are there. That's why we are there. And that's why the ego clashes are there, problems are there. So, best is to keep Krishna in the center. भगवान के गुणों को सुनिए, भगवान के गुणों को पढ़िए, भगवान के गुणों को गाइए. Hear Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam, sing about the glories of the Lord. Worship the Lord in the house and practice Krishna consciousness together as a couple. And be a happy couple. It is very possible. Tomorrow in the temple we are going to discuss more detail in that. 6 points we are going to discuss on this. How to handle, what is the topic? Tomorrow's topic is how to have a smoother grahastha life. That will come tomorrow.
It's tomorrow in Indian Buddha or inter?
Secular.
Internal in the morning.
Okay. So, for kids to remain Krishna conscious, first the parents has to be Krishna conscious. If you want your children to be ideal children, you want them to have some character in life, then first अपने आचार्य करी जीवेरे सिखाए. First parents should follow and then expect children to follow. Parents are themselves not following and they have high expectations on children. हमने खुद कभी 70 मार्क्स से ऊपर नहीं लाए, लेकिन हम लोग चाहते हमारे बच्चे 90% मारे. तुम्हारे बच्चे हैं भैया. ला रहे तो अच्छी बात है, ला रहे तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन नहीं ला रहे तो हमने भी कभी नहीं लाया तो उनसे भी एक्सपेक्ट मत करो. जो हम हैं वो हमारे बच्चे हैं. Anyways, any questions are there? We can take any questions.
You said probably that quarrel should be solved between husband and wife. You should not involve anyone else in there. But what they discuss, and they decide that the problem really exists between them two. But who shall they seek then? You said authoritative source. Right? You said authoritative source should be consulted if there is a problem. Should it or not then?
For spiritual life, there is a spiritual master. Okay. If you have any spiritual question, there is a spiritual master. Okay. The problems between husband and wife should be best is that if it has been sorted between the husband and wife itself.
What if not? What the problem arises and there is no solution?
Then they should be ready for the chaos in their life. If there is someone to be consulted, it's the spiritual master or a sadhu. Because nobody is the well-wisher actually. The true well-wisher. Except for people who are Krishna conscious, completely Krishna sadhus, the unalloyed devotees of the Lord, who are like Krishna himself, so they can be consulted. Other than that, it is best that they discussion. Problem is that when problem arises, discuss it out. Discuss, बैठना चाहिए, discuss करना चाहिए. Discuss, लिखो problem को. क्या problem है? इसका solution क्या है? Write down all the problems. That's why before marriage, the husband and wife, their expectations should be clear to each other. Their likings, their dislikings, their expectations from each other, everything should be very clear before marriage itself. When you know, before you go to a company for getting a job, what do? You find out everything about the company. Then only we apply. Right? Then when taking such a big decision of your life, getting married, you don't find out that person. You blindly get married. Then you want to spend the whole life with him. And then you lament, oh, what happened? I thought that he was like that, but he is like this. This should be clearly sorted out before. When you had time, that's why it takes 6 months, 1 year. Keep some respectable distance from each other and try to understand each other perfectly well so that this problem doesn't arise. But once the marriage is done, it's done. Then one should not talk about until there is an extreme situation. But once the marriage is done, it's done. Then there is no going back. Before, our Shastrasya Hari Bhakti Vilas says that the disciple is allowed to test the Guru. 1 year. Test him. Before the Diksha, before initiation, disciple can test, the devotee can test the Guru, test the Sadhu, ask him questions, sneak inside his laptop, phone, life, everything. Find out all the faults. Ask him all the questions. See if he can satisfy you. But after initiation, you don't doubt. Then there is no going back. Married life is like that. जो कुछ भी करना है, all the inquiries you have to do before marriage. After marriage is done, then there is no going back. Chavan Muni, उनकी वाइफ का नाम Chavan Muni and Sukanya. Sukanya, she got married to a very irritable husband. Chavan Muni, Chavan Prash के Chavan Muni. हाँ, Chavan Prash जिन्होंने बनाया वही Chavan Muni. हाँ, बहुत अगली थे, दिखने में बहुत अगली थे, एकदम बेकार, बूढ़े थे एकदम, इरिटेबल थे. ऐसे चवन मुनि को सुकन्या जैसी बहुत सुंदर सुशील कन्या मिल गई. लेकिन ये इनका क्या था, ये राजघराने की थी और ये क्या थे, बाबा जी थे. कहा सुकन्या का अपब्रिंगिंग, कहा ये घास फूस वाले. ऐसी देवूती का भी था, देवूती राजा की लड़की थी और हमारे फक्कड़ मुनि फक्कड़ बाबा, हाँ, छोटी सी झोपड़ी थी उनकी. क्या हुआ? हाँ, लेकिन च्यवन मुनि का एक और समस्या था. च्यवन मुनि का टेम्परामेंट मतलब गुस्सैल व्यक्ति थे. सुकन्या understood the temperament of Chavan Muni and accordingly Sukanya served Chavan Muni, giving her all her pride, thinking that I am coming from a very big family. She gave up that pride. She became a humble servant and she genuinely served Chavan Muni, an old irritable husband, and she got the result. If one sincerely serves, when a wife serves sincerely husband in such a way, she will get spiritually benefited. There are unlimited benefits. When a wife serves a husband devotedly, there are unlimited benefits. She becomes very powerful because of the chastity. So it is very important. Once marriage is done, the husband has to adjust to the temperament of the wife, and the wife has to adjust to the temperament of the husband. There is no going back. जो भगवान की कृपा से मिल गया उसको स्वीकार कर लो. We have to accept it as the Lord's arrangement in our life. ऐसा होगा कि नहीं इसको छोड़ देते किसी और को पकड़ लेते हैं. जो यहाँ लिखा है ना वही होगा. अगर एक के साथ संतुष्ट नहीं है तो संसार में किसी के साथ संतुष्ट नहीं हो सकते. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the thoughtful session. I was thinking that when you mentioned that if both the husband and wife are Krishna conscious, the child will be Krishna conscious or God conscious. What if either one of them is not Krishna conscious? So what will be the child's consciousness, like how it will be?
नहीं वो तो ठीक है. Krishna consciousness is one thing, but at least there is something called as basic character of a person. So the character, if the husband and the parents are having good character, they might, devotional aspect is another thing. But at least if the character wise the mother is serving the husband, or the husband is there, he is not devotee, wife is devotee, but husband is supporting the wife. He is not fighting in the house, support is there. It is very fortunate, it's a good fortune actually, husband and wife both are devotee. It's a good fortune. It is not easy to find a husband who is a devotee. It is not easy to find a wife who is devoted to Krishna. It is not easy. And if you are getting such in this age of Kali, in this whole chaotic situation of the material world outside, where there is no guarantee of any relationships anywhere, if you are getting a devoted, if one is getting a husband who is devoted, if you are getting a wife which is devoted to Krishna, for blessing समझ कर स्वीकार कर लो, adjust कर लो सब कुछ, adjust everything else. Rest everything can be adjusted. But Krishna consciousness cannot be, if that is naturally inbuilt in your wife, उसकी पूजा करो भाई, पूजा करो, ठीक है. कोई devoted है तो उसको, because it is a very rare thing that husband and wife both are devoted to Krishna. Ask those whose husband is not devoted or whose wife is not devoted, ask their problems, and then your problems will become insignificant. Yes. Ask whose husband is practicing devotee, but wife is sense enjoyer, she just wants to enjoy. Ask them their difficulties in life. So, naturally it's a difficult situation, but understanding if it is correct. One is, they might not be devotee, but if the understanding between the husband and wife is correct, then if understanding is correct, then that is also sanskar. That is sanskar on the children which they get. That my understanding of my parents is very nice. When they see outside that so many relationships, especially in the Western world, the relationships are compromised. कौन किसका पिताजी, कौन किसकी माँ, कौन किसके साथ रह रहा है, कोई concept ही नहीं है. But if they turn their faces toward our house and they see, oh, my parents are together, and they're having good understanding, they'll be happy. Do you have a question, Prabhu?
Yeah, I have. So, how to understand the expectations and selfishness in married couples' life?
Expectations has to be cleared by discussing, talking. सब कुछ बात करके solution निकल जाता है. हम लोग बात ही नहीं करते. We don't talk only. We assume things. We make our perceptions. And that is the problem. We have to sit down and discuss things, discuss the problems. and there will be no fights at all. Simple solution. Sit down and discuss.
So how we can differentiate with selfishness? And you mentioned that relations comes together because of selfishness, and then
That is
relations.
the general nature of the relationships. But if Krishna is in center, if she's a devotee, if the wife is a devotee, then the husband should understand that she's a devoted woman, devoted to Krishna. It is my fortune that I am getting a chance to serve her. So let me serve her nicely. Let me take good care of her. क्या चाहिए उसको भक्ति में peaceful atmosphere क्या चाहिए उसको? Let me give that to her. And the wife should also think, my husband is a devotee. My good fortune, मेरे कौन से जन्मों का पुण्य कि मेरे को husband devotee मिला है. So she should also understand that. And so if that is sorted, that is the main thing. कि सिगरेट नहीं पीता है, दारू नहीं पीता है, बाहर व्यभिचार नहीं करेगा, illicit activities नहीं करेंगे. If the wife is so confident, he is a devoted husband, he is not going to do these 3-4 things, then it is the good fortune of a wife. Then everything else can be adjusted. Yes, isn't it?
You also mentioned like to give proper time.
Proper time. The whole problem in the relationship is because no time is spent. And you all agree. If every day, half an hour also if you sit with each other, na, half an hour bhi nahi milta hai. Husband and wife are so busy in their own world, they don't spend half an hour with each other. They're there, but they don't have half an hour to talk nicely. So if there are issues, there are doubts in your heart, issues they are there, speak it out. And then so many problems will get solved. Dosti ho jayegi. The husband and wife, they should have very good friendship. That friendship is missing in the relationship. Husband is husband, wife is husband, and relationship is there, but that friendship aspect is not there because no discussion is there.
On mobile we have enough time, but not for each other.
Yeah.
So maybe the expectations are high and you are delivering only this much. So sometimes that is also a difference, right?
हाँ तो expectations. Yes.
You are delivering only
बात
this
करना
much.
चाहिए.
तो फिर वो gap problem
बात करने से जाएगा ना. You have so much expectations. You had, but when you actually got married, it went below the expectations. And then,
obviously that
yes. So then what should one do? You should tell that I had this expectations and this happened.
नहीं कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है you have expectation, the capacity उतनी है अभी.
क्या करेंगे?
Capacity नहीं है ना अभी मेरी.
तो expectations कम करो तो.
If you're married for a long time,
Then
Answering each other.
Then there will be his expectations also will be there, and you are not fulfilling that. He might also expectations are there.
उतनी है ना.
तो बैलेंस कर दे, खत्म कर देने का. तो एक्स्ट्रा एक्सपेक्टेशंस को खत्म कर देने का. बैलेंस करेंगे तेरा इतना मेरा इतना जो खत्म कर एडजस्ट करके चलते आगे.
If one is in a fast pace, then the other one is very slow and then.
बगल में ही है.
तो आपने बोला था ना कि मैरिज के पहले जो है डिस्कशन पहले कर लेना चाहिए.
हाँ.
और बाद में फिर जो है उसमें, लेकिन बहुत बार पर्दे के पीछे की कहानी कुछ अलग होती है.
हाँ. तो पीछे
पर्दे के पीछे के पहले तो वो टाइम में जो अरेंज मैरिज होता था पहले उसमें खड़ा होता था ये सब.
हाँ, मतलब अभी के
अब
हिसाब
किसको
से
जान पाते थे.
अरेंज मैरिज में भी वो लोग देखे अरेंज मैरिज में ऐसा रहता है कि रिलेशनशिप बिल्डअप करना रहता है. तो लोग डिस्कशन करते हैं. अभी सब लव मैरिजेस है. सब ऐसा रहता है कि सब पता हम लोग एक दूसरे के बारे में, लेकिन कुछ पता नहीं रहता. When they start living in a one roof, under one roof, before marriage everything is golden, and when after marriage everything becomes copper. तांबा. ये जिंदगी है. But still, tell me one thing. that when we marriage is done, right? रहना भी साथ में ही है, ठीक है? So why don't we live nicely? बात समझ रहे ना? तो जीना जब when we have to stay together only, right? We know there is no option without him, and husband इसकी बिना option तो है नहीं, ऊपर से डिवोटी भी है, अच्छी है, लेकिन अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, एक्सपेक्टेशन जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स हो गई, लेकिन अभी जीना तो इन्हीं के साथ है, तो why not live nicely instead of living a grumpy life full of irritation, life full of frustration? Why not live a life which is full of understanding and caring? Why not? देखो थोड़ा कंप्लेंट चलता रहेगा, वो तो कभी रुकने वाला नहीं है, लेकिन एक म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, वो फ्रेंडशिप से आती है, ठीक है ना? तो फ्रेंडशिप अगर रहेगी रिलेशनशिप में तो सब गाड़ी चलेगी, तो फ्रेंडशिप होनी आवश्यक है.
Can we have 5-10 minutes kirtan before concluding?
Yeah, no problem. Can I have 1 hour kirtan? Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhu. You said nicely about the class, and I have one question regarding when you said about the living of father and the mother to upbring the children. So, yeah, that's one point you mentioned about our own culture, what we do. It impacts the children. But at the same time, what shall we try to cultivate in the children so that they take Krishna consciousness? But that's a bit, I struggle a lot at the time. Definitely we are chanting, we are doing kirtan at home, we are doing puja, we are reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, but still I feel there are some still gaps are there where I feel that I could do something more for the children's.
Don't force Krishna consciousness on them.
It's not forcing,
But
but
I'm telling you, the best way to make them Krishna conscious is not to force them to take to Krishna consciousness. Chanting नहीं कर रहे, मारूंगी. Chanting कर. Chant. बोला पकड़. They'll feel hatred for chanting. If someone does that to us, when we were initially coming to Krishna consciousness, if someone has done that to us, forced us to take it to chanting, will we do it? No. So how can I expect a child to do it? So we need to understand the treatment which we don't want for ourselves, we are giving that treatment to children in the name of God. सारा frustration God के नाम पे उतारते हैं हम लोग बच्चों पे, और कुछ नहीं है. Let them associate with the devotees, let them do kirtan, let them visit temples, let them attend summer camps, see others, let them get convinced of the Krishna consciousness, let them get convinced about chanting the holy name, and let them chant. You just create an environment by which that can be supported, but unless they are convinced, don't force them. Simple. That's 2-line answers for your questions.
okay, thank you.
Don't force Krishna consciousness on children, otherwise they'll hate it. ये अनुभवाचे बोले थे, सब अनुभव के हैं. 3 बच्चों का लाभ है, अनुभव के. साइंस ऑफ सेल्फ रिलेशन का कोर्स हुआ मेरा.
Any more questions?
Okay, we can do some kirtan. Mataji.
His gaze, Brajasundar Prabhu ki jai.